very shortly here. And away we go. Everybody starting in Link's house. Everybody immediately picking up 300 rupees, so money will not be a problem early. Especially as goes for buying bombs in Kakariko, and if they don't pick up any along the way. And everybody also making the exact same play towards this Uncle Chest. What do you think about this Uncle Chest play?
Fairly standard option right off the bat. Let's see who's going for these tree pulls here. Oh, nothing but arrows. That's a bit disappointing. It is a bit surprising to see all four going straight for the uncle, but
it's very odd that you just have all four runners pick the same thing.
And another big 20.
Only money in here, so I'm assuming most of these players will now go up through Sanctuary, pick up their chest, and then head to Kakariko through the woods. I wonder if any of them will stop and see if we can pick up any AGA required vibes from Anxiety Cave.
I'm sure Chad is hoping very deeply that this will be Aghanim required.
See, I'm on the opposite bandwagon. I want to get out of here as quickly as possible. So,
so we're hoping for a 6-minute butter sword, as we saw a few days ago, and boots and cat.
Nice quick seed, yeah. No need to have pedestal. No need for anything like that. Just a nice, quiet, quick seed. About 3 crystals in the light world. And,
looks like all of the racers have discovered the disappointment of that Tier 2 tree pull being just arrows.
And only rupees for beating AGA. That's a shame. Except if you want the race to be over quickly, so not that bad. So we got Red Pendant and Eastern. I saw 2 crystals. I think one of them was 5.
There was a crystal number 5 at Tower of Hera, and crystal number 3 over in Desert.
So right off the bat, all of our runners are going to be thinking about whether they want to pull the trigger on Eastern. It's to be kind of a standard play in this version of Logic, but Pendant there probably will dissuade them, at least early on.
Picking up a nice early heart container out of the Thieves' Den there. Always nice to pick up this early in the game for free.
Making sure we're checking everybody's crow dodges here. Jet had a pretty good guard dodge. Hurfy taking the path less traveled and just jumping right down. That works too.
I do like that jump as it moves you over 1 extra space, jumping you past that bush, but the time gain is a little bit negated by having to move that 1 extra space over to the left there.
So without bombs, everybody heading right toward bombs. EODTex doing a second tree pull with a different reward set and only getting hearts for it, unfortunately. So he probably joined them.
Hurfy finding weaponry in the back of the bar to defend against presumed robberies.
A book. Early silvers.
Thieves' Hut paying off big time with literacy and silver arrows. Very nice things to find early on.
And the bottle, so they can take care of that really early too. That's nice.
That'll eliminate another empty square that they don't have to worry about coming back to check Sick Kid much later on.
There, but well, got another heart container. More bombs.
Those would have been useful before going down to the bomb shop. Yet another heart container.
Very healthy seed early, so Unless they find something at the very bottom here, or with the bottle, they will probably leave here with only bombs as real weapons, although the boomerang can be used in some cases.
I wonder if we'll see any of them choose to take those bombs straight down to the mini Moldorm cave, or if they would prefer to check other, easier, non-combat locations first.
That's the risk, and it's actually, having played it 20 times, it's not difficult to learn, but it is hard to just do off the top of your head. So
Yeah, those little Moldorms can be quite trolly.
Yeah.
Although with a book this early, someone may take a gamble and just rush straight to desert, possibly checking Agnes Cave along the way. Not the densest of plays, but
that's definitely kind of the following the breadcrumbs play.
what is on our bookshelf in the library? Another heart container, which most likely no one will come back for.
Oh yeah, that thing doesn't even exist anymore. And checking the race from the bottom, we see 300 more rupees.
That might actually be worth the time.
So if these runners pick this up, they're kind of guaranteeing that they can go to Zora. Some of them opting out of it, actually.
Interesting.
But Jed going for it.
Hurfy heading down to the dam area. Let's see what he can pull out. Meanwhile, EOD heading over to Sahasrara, it looks like.
Convergence of paths here. Wow. And that's kind of early game rando for you. Everybody has a different kind of starting strategy. After you get out of Kakariko, usually.
More big 20s in the dam.
What's Slam Lama Ding Dong hiding in his basement? Rupees, bombs, and rubies.
I feel like we've seen about 10 red rupees so far, so we're almost halfway done with them.
It's always great when you start a seed. There's the flute.
A big find.
I'm saying, it's always great when you start a seed and then you realize that you, through the first 3 checks of the game, have nothing. So EOD is going to continue to play by going into Eastern without a sword or a lamp. So this is an interesting little gamble.
I wonder how quickly Hurfy will travel back to Kakariko to activate that flute, giving him a lot easier mode of travel.
Now they're going to see how good these runners are at using bombs to kill Moldorms.
Oh, that's an awkward position.
Yeah, he kind of got stuck between the screen there. That can sometimes happen. Alright. Come on, one more, Hurfy. One more. There you go.
Roach picking up his flute as well.
Absolutely nothing in that cave.
It's just payday everywhere you go in this seed so far. Just lots and lots of 20 drops, 100 rupees, 300 rupees.
So
Money
worth
everywhere.
it. Hurfy ignoring Ice Rod Cave for now. Also the opportunity to take clippers. Roach EOD finding more money in Eastern. I wonder if this is going to be one of those seeds where somebody finishes with 2,000 in their stash.
After this seed's over, Link will be retiring as an investment broker.
He may retire halfway through it at this point. Jed having to take a little slow here with only 1 heart.
I am the duck of swag. I cause a little lag, but you got this in the bag, 'cause you set me free. And if you should forget all the things you have left, well then here's your best bet. Just flute to 3.
Thank you, Albie, for that magnificent playback of the Swagbuck album.
Well, I feel like my services aren't needed that much, but anyway, just run that song the whole time. Just gonna check out Hobo here.
Maybe it looks like Hurfy, as opposed to going straight to Ice Rod Cave, he went to activate his flute to come straight back to Ice Rod Cave.
EOD doing the dark room here in Eastern. Always
More
difficult.
money for Under the Bridge.
Are there any places that don't have money in this game? Even the stun drop is 20. That's the seed.
A very cold blue rupee there.
Wow. I mean, at this point, you may have to do... Yeah, you might have to do Hyrule Castle with just bombs, right? I mean, that's got to be weighing on their minds.
Looking like that, or... Oh,
Are
there's
seeing the
on
boots
the
on
ledge.
the ledge.
He's probably going right for those. And now he doesn't have to worry about whether Desert is boots locked.
EOD going... Are we seeing Saharsala here? Or, no, sorry, Houlihan room here? Yeah. He needed even more money, apparently. Okay.
That's not the play that I was expecting out
Yeah.
of anyone at this stage of the game, but it's interesting to see. I guess now EOD will definitely not need any money for anything for the rest of the game. Well, I guess if you add everything up, he's a little bit short of Zora plus Kiki in the digging game and the chest game, etc.
It's pretty close, though. So those boots get for Hurfy, and now he's going to go back in and see what's actually inside Desert.
EOD is making his way through Southern Hyrule. While Jetabb is about to be disappointed by Sahasrala's closet. EOD very happy with his flute.
Hurfy realizing that he cannot kill these things without bombs.
I hope he gets them all in one shot. He's almost out of bombs.
The most important thing, though, is by stunning them, he generates 20 rupees every time. So
Hey, that got him his Zora money. He's good to go.
make sure to pick up all the 20s. Bombos.
Got our first coin.
Got a death warp coming here for Hurfy.
That's a very good death sprite there for Roy Koopa.
Roach didn't even get a chance to get bombos because he ran out of bombs. This is a really tough seed early as far as killing things, especially since I think all these players actually did go to Moldon Cave with the bombs and use them all night. So there's the glove that Hurfy just found. Well, that opens up a little bit more. Sure. You see Jet doing fake flippers, ducking into Waterfall Cave, which is new for this logic. But doing it without the blue pearl, so may not realize that he can't actually get in there.
I think after going back in a second time, he'll quickly realize that that play is not possible without the Moon Pearl, and looks like he'll head over to Zora. See what he
definitely
can
has the
get
money
with his
for
big
it.
spender. Roach is going to show us what's in the back half of Escape. More money!
Money and bombs. The rare seed where buying a heart is actually okay because you just have that much money.
Looks like Hurfy would be our first player up to Death Mountain, and he is immediately leaving again. And coming right back.
And the Moon Pearl at Zora. Well, at least you can't say you didn't have enough money to get there. And Roach just found the hammer.
If only he had had that Moon Pearl about 2 minutes ago when he was trying to get in that waterfall cave.
So we finally, the first weapon of the game, basically found at Bonk Rocks. And he is now going back into Desert to claim Bombos. Now that he can actually kill things.
It's good that he's taking care of that now. That would be a loose square that would be on your mind for the rest of the game.
See, I kind of like leaving those things, but I totally understand that if you play it like that, and, it's just haunting you the whole time. Like if you go to Thieves Town and don't have hammer, be the big chest there. You're just wondering the whole game.
Roach taking the rarely seen directly right from the entrance of Desert Palace that almost nobody ever takes, because he knows exactly where he's going. Picks up his Bombos medallion and quits out. EOD finds the trash on Zora's ledge and is heading up to purchase his Moon Pearl.
Yeah, this is the seed that was kind of designed because so many players want to get that Moon Pearl to do fake movers into the waterfall. This is the seed that was really designed to keep that Zora revealed to the very end.
The old man contributing a single arrow to Link's fight against Ganon. Thank you, old man. Your help is much appreciated.
He validated the run. That's all you can ask for.
Jetabb taking quite a few hits from these falling rocks. Looks like he makes it past them with one heart left, though. He'll see what's up here on Spectacle. Another big 20. So we've got nothing up on top of Death Mountain. Hurfy is now doing the front of Escape.
At this point, pretty much all of our runners are just trying to get to Dark World. See the various pieces around. Pearl, Love, and Hammer, but nobody has accumulated all three of them yet.
Jetabb will be heading in to grab his boots and start going fast with the rest of them. And it's looking like Roach may be our first player to get Dark World access with the way he's heading. What will Hurfy find in the Dungeon of Hyrule today? Just a map.
That's brutal, because now you don't have the lamp, and you know that last item kind of hidden between falling down to escape and the actual castle is an actual item. And if you're the kind that believes that distribution is fairly, even in some respects, that but you haven't gotten much out of Hyrule at all or Escape, and you're like, oh well, what could that be? The Roach is going to Come in and do the cave formerly known as Hive Cave first, it looks like.
Let's see what's in the Cave of Mediocrity today, if that is indeed where he is going.
Have a little bonk off those pegs. One of the toughest things to do is hit that timing right with the hammer dash.
And I believe he can't hammer dash at the moment because he does not have a sword.
That could also be a factor there, yeah. So there's that. Alright, so into the Hive Cave.
Oh, there's the sword!
Semi-hype? A little more hype? What's about a 40% hype scale?
That's pretty hype, a sword and a rod.
Oh, Roach making sure to buy more bombs. Yeah, that is a factor in the seed. Can't say the seed didn't give him lots of money to do it, though.
Yeah, no reason not to spend 100 rupees to fill up your entire bomb capacity when you have 700 just laying around.
Make this right side now. Will he play for Pod?
Will he check Pyramid first?
Or will he follow through with the Catfish? Getting the spin speed there, that's always impressive. But just bombs is his reward for it.
Two runners trekking through desert at the moment, picking up their gloves and Bombos medallions.
So after this, it looks like EOD and Jet will be right around the same place, so Hurfy will still be light with the girl. And Roach is heading all the way to Catfish. Pretty rare check, although in this case, given the boots and the lack of items that these runners have, kind of makes sense.
We may see Lantern from Catfish, as many of their options going forward have dark rooms in them.
You think Lantern would show up this early? Well,
I could be completely wrong.
or he could get his heart.
Where will Roach head now? As the first player into the Dark World, he has the most possible locations that he could head to.
Oh, Hurfy trying to do this dark room. This is not easy without a lamp or a sword. But he gets it done, using the hammer to kind of guide him.
Using the hammer as your primary weapon is bad enough, let alone using it in the dark when you can't see anything.
Oh, I think hammer's a great primary weapon. You should see how Moth feels about it sometime.
Looks like Roach is heading to the Town of Outcasts, or Dark Kakariko. Or maybe he'll jump up to Skull Woods first, since this is V26. Going for that heavy rock, realizing that can't quite pick that up yet. Needs to do a bit more benching at the gym.
Can't skip leg day if you're going to lift those rocks.
Hurfy checking out Agnes Cave for us.
Oh, yeah, we saw that one earlier, unfortunately. Roach playing through Village now. It looks like he's going to take the circle around before deciding if he wants to go into Thieves.
it's a convenient play, especially since he already has the hammer. And
Well, especially just how the sea is played out. You really don't have much weaponry. You don't have hook shot. You have the boots to get around actually inside there, but other than that, it's not like a it's not a play where you're like, oh, finally I can go in and do this dungeon happily. And of course, green mail too.
deceptively red-green mail for Roach.
Yeah, I keep looking at him, being like, oh, he'll be fine.
Sounds like Hurfy is hammering his way through the dark. Seems to have run into a few enemies along the way.
Oh, is he trying to check the chest and back over the escape?
I believe so. Roach finding a plethora of dungeon items in the first 4 chests of thieves. Nothing too interesting so far.
Yeah, that was a very unhyped first floor. Looks like Jet's going to be the second person to join him, and EOD right behind in Dark World. Both of them eschewing the hype cave, though, so they would be swordless.
Looks like that was actually the Death Mountain cave and not the back of escape as we thought.
Ah, okay. My bad. Those streams is hard. Still waiting to see a second check of the map here. But you can see Jet heading into Skull first. So.
The classic B26 play.
I got green pendant Skull, blue on ice. That was what I saw.
EOD also heading up to Skull Woods as his first Dark World check.
Ooh. Jet learning the hammer don't play. In this case, the mummy don't play. Taking a death there.
At least it's not much of a setback given the entrance to Skullwood's location there.
But yes, neither of these runners actually have a sword yet, so I can see how that would be problematic for their typical strategies for these rooms. Meyer is 6, the chat says. So get that marked up. Roach also taking the 10.
They're falling down left, right, and center.
That's a more costly death too, since he was deeper into Thieves Town.
They haven't been given the best of arsenals, except for... Did EOD just find the blue mail?
Jet performing a really nice bomb jump there, and Death Orbit. I believe Hera was 5? Was that what you were saying?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Hera and Meyer as the 5-6.
So we'll probably not be seeing the Pyramid Fairy as a very early check today.
I don't know. I've seen earlier plays on Meyer. So I think how far did Roach get here? He's going back down to fetch Blind from herself.
EOD getting grabbed by the Wallmaster. Moving back about 5 feet. Without any magic weaponry such as the fire rod, those Gibdos are quite annoying.
Another death for Roach inside that prison cell. Ugh.
And Jet falls to a Gibdo.
They really are falling left and right. Man, I can't even keep up with them.
This seed is just not being nice with the equipment it's handed out thus far. At least in terms of combat. They've got all the mobility they could ever want. They've got boots, they've got flute, they have plenty of Dark World access.
And this room is actually a real problem, this double mummy room that Jet's in. I think with the setup that he has, I would probably recommend just throwing the boomerang. You can stun these guys rather than trying to kill them, but no guarantee that he actually knows that.
Seems to be having some trouble positioning that statue. He can't quite get above it to pull it up onto the button there. Oh, the statue isn't far enough to the right. He would have had to push it all the way back down. Roach heading downstairs in Thieves' Town again.
Jeremy, our tracker, saying that Fire Rod is a bumper cave, which isn't a very convenient spot for these people at the time, having no cape. So that's another offensive weapon in a non-obvious location here. And Roach actually using the red juice here, try to get through this board. At this point, I don't blame him.
Yes, he's spent a lot of time in Thieves already. He wants to finish it up and make sure that he doesn't fall too far behind as a result of those deaths.
Titan's Mitt inside. Vanilla.
Random.
This is the vanilla glove seed.
Roach now has access to almost every overworld location that is not mirror locked.
Roach heading into this blind fight. There is a very predictable pattern here. Looks like he's practiced this before. He knows the beginning of it at least. Oh, clutched it out. Clutched it out. Just
Good
barely.
finish there from Roach and a great reward as well.
So all the value in Thieves, all of the value in Thieves, finding the mirror there. So, I mean, at this point, the entire world is basically Roach's oyster. He gets to pick and choose what he wants to do with his lack of weaponry.
Where do I want to be bad at fighting things now? Good choice to go straight to the digging game there. Nothing to fight over there.
Except your sanity as you watch the digs pile up.
Hoping that he doesn't have to go 30 times. Jetabb and EOD also making the plays on Thieves. That will greatly open up the world to them if they get through it all.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, they did not do the hype cave first, so they don't have a sword. So it'd be interesting to see if they're willing to take on Blonde with Hammer or not. As we know, there's a big reward for it. And yeah, cape is, as Chad is saying, cape is necessary for this seed. Roach tempted by the Mitz Mirror combo to just stick around in Village of Outcast for a little bit. And hammer away all these chests that you can do. Don't blame him at all for this play. Especially since he has boots, he has, like we've said earlier, he has all the mobility at this point. He's already here. You might as well just knock it all out while you can.
Nice find for Roach in the Peg Cave, upgrading to the Master Sword. Not only is he the first player with a sword, he is now the first player with an even better sword.
The rewards are obvious from doing thieves here. Especially now that we got the bug catching net. Now everything's all falling into place for Roach.
Always a great safety item to have.
Now, if you are Roach, how are you approaching this seed? Because after 2 deaths and thieves, I would personally maybe feel a little bit behind, but given how it's played out, it doesn't really seem to be going that way.
It doesn't feel like Roach is behind at all from our perspective, but if I were in his shoes, dying twice in Thieves, I would feel a little bit behind.
Yeah, I would too.
Especially since some of the really good finds that he had were in very popular locations, like the sword and the ice rod that were both in Hype Cave. If I were Roach, I would assume that everyone else has already found those as well, even though that's not the case.
EOD trying to do the hammer blind fight here.
Some pretty solid fireball dodging there from EOD. Can he get this last hit in?
Playing it as safely as he can. Oh!
No.
Oh! Ah, you hate to see that.
Will he go for it again? Nope. He is heading out.
Yeah, what we're saying, well, we know that from watching it, he's ahead. But as an actual runner trying to get this perspective, you don't know that, and you only know that you died twice in Thieves. So, Roach can do the shield here. He can finish up Bombos, I think. So, yeah, having everything fall into place here after Thieves, you pretty much get your pick and choose of everything. He has taken the South Dark World path here, the Bombos tablet.
And from the sky, a piece of heart falls. And there was no rejoicing. But being the first player with the mitts, Roach now heading straight to the mire area, gonna check out that shed and most likely checkerboard cave. See if he has access. He does have access to mire.
Is Bombos?
I believe it was Bombos.
Really on the edge of my screen, I couldn't really tell. Of course, the flip side to this is now that they know where Fire Rod is, you're basically chasing Lantern. Flips, maybe? I mean, there's not quite as many things to find at this point, so.
Let's see how Jet gets through his hammer blind.
Did EOD just kind of walk out of there?
Yes, after he died, he said, "Nope, I'll come back once I have a sword."
That's interesting. He had all of our runners were given this red potion. I assume for this fight, pretty much.
And Jet using his red potion there on the last phase. Blind can be very annoying to hit with the hammer in that last phase.
Oh yeah, you can see it here. But thankfully, Jet able to get it done.
Finishes up and gets his fantastic mirror as a reward.
EOD finding the sword finally, so he can be like, "Why didn't I just come here first?"
Taking the poor blacksmith along with him on a tour all over Hyrule, seeing the sights of these lovely pig soldiers and bomb-throwing cyclops. Just what everyone wants to see on their vacation. And now Hurfy's up for the hammer blind fight. He only has 3 hearts, though.
Beefstown taking no prisoners today. There have been a lot of deaths. Also some in Skullwoods, but
Will
mainly
he
in Beefstown.
use that potion? Does he still have it? Does he remember he still has it? Ugh. Down goes Hurfy.
So now will he finish the dungeon, or will he dive out like EOD did? Answer, EOD.
We now have a blue Santa on Roach's side.
Trying to set up this bomb jump.
EOD is going to get his piece of heart from Catfish and be disappointed. Hurfy is having to do these pegs the slow way, as without a sword he cannot do the dash. But there's the sword! If only he had had that mere seconds ago.
This seed is definitely a sword tease seed.
If I were in that situation, I probably would have just hammer dashed a row of pegs out of spite.
Roach, unlike you see Jet struggle with this, actually knowing that you can boomerang these mummies and get them off your back for a little bit,
Oh,
But
gets
then-
grabbed though.
but then falls right into the trap. Yeah,
And
this
now
room-
everything is back.
This room is brutal.
This room
It's
has
one of the tougher
been
rooms to learn.
just destroying people in this race. Jet finding his net.
Are we going to see Roach heading for the pet check here? He sure can't open this yet.
Yeah, that's the only reason he could be coming up here, unless he just wants to flute away, but there would have been no reason to walk this far. What will it be? Disappointment.
I'm kind of surprised that he went for that this early, especially given just how much mobility and how many places he can go right now. So what is the play?
Looks like Roach is going to take care of the vast majority of Death Mountain at this point, since he can clear. He can head right on over to the right side, up from the top.
Yeah, that was the obvious one from the beginning. As long as you're, especially if you're comfortable doing the start room, which I think most of our runners are at this point.
Hurfy's still leading that poor blacksmith around. He just wants to go home at this point. Looks like he is finally taking him home.
Roach's run now valid. So I can look forward to that.
Getting a quick heart refill before heading up the dangerous mountain pass. Went for some spin speed there, didn't quite get it. Spin speed is seems like something very difficult to learn. I know I can't do it consistently.
It's not too bad once you get used to the timing. It's more just all the little different variations that still kind of befuddle me sometimes. And of course, you're not going to spend 5 tries getting it. You either get it first or second try, you move on, basically.
Persistence doesn't always pay off in this case.
See Roach make a play on Carapera after this check.
Let's read a book first and see what falls from the heavens up here.
Finding the flippers on the tablet.
Finding the flippers about as far away from water as you can possibly get. EOD missing the bird there.
Just looking at these items, this item list, man, it really feels like this game is setting up for an ice play. The bow! Wow. Roach really is spoiled for choice at this point. I mean, this is actually a crystal dungeon, but he is leaping immediately.
Spoiled for choice, but seems to be making almost all of the right choices so far. He could attempt to go through pod, although a fair bit of it would be sequence break, so I imagine he won't go there quite yet. EOD fighting through a horde of dead rocks to get his validation arrow.
Unfortunately, not with the mirror at this point, so...
Roach picking up his magic cape. Now he can go get that fire rod whenever he pleases.
Wow, all the progression on Death Mountain here. Look at this. It's just between Thieves Town and Death Mountain, basically. Unfortunately,
Getting blocked.
Unfortunately, the chipmunks came to play here. Fire rod is in Bumper Cave, so the cape has unlocked that. Whenever the Roach is ready to go claim it.
Let's see if Hurfy will decide to dip into Mire. I don't imagine he will, but it could be an interesting gamble.
The thing about early Mire, though, is, I mean, you're not really, unless you're doing it in Go mode, even then, you don't really know. You're not putting yourself much of a time disadvantage. It's just a matter of comfort at this point, given, you know, kind of the baby sword stuff, not a whole lot of damage output, and that first Wizrobe room.
Right, that first room can be one of the biggest time sinks if you do end up having to double dip Mire.
Good news, Roach found 300 more rubies, so he's now at 1234. Link should subcontract somebody else to do the rest of this adventure for him.
He could probably pay that bully up on Death Mountain to do some work.
Looks like we're probably going to get a check on Turtle's medallion too here. Oh. Once we get that, we'll have a better idea of just how many required items are still outstanding.
Interesting that Hurfy is coming back so soon to finish off blind. I mean, he has to do it at some point. But
yeah, this is actually a really tough fight with this version of blind too.
No script here.
Maybe he knows that the red potion will save him this time.
Oh no, Hurfy!
Or that.
Wow!
Wow. Well,
The most logical hookshot in the hookshot cave. Possibly the trolliest location for the hookshot, along with its vanilla dungeon.
EOD making a play on pod early with no bow. Has only a red boomerang to show for it so far. Be interested to see how far he gets into it. Looks like Bombos works for Rock as well, so we have all medallions we need already, and that basically means that once Roach picks up his fire rod, he is, what, Red Cane and maybe a lantern if he's uncomfortable with dark rooms for Go mode.
That is what it looks like.
Pretty nice position to be in at 49 seconds. Or 49 minutes, sorry. 49 seconds would be a nicer position.
That would have been a real jet seed. Nice sword upgrade in Spike Cave. Even
Wow.
better position now for Roach.
He is
Roach,
calling all the shots here, man. This is
Roach with the real big plays. Hurfy finishes up his fight in Thieves' Town and heads up onto Death Mountain, as he too can explore the full right side now.
Roach choosing to do Swamp first here. This is an interesting play, especially considering he went away from Hera.
It is the most item-dense dungeon he can do.
But at
And
this
it's also-
point, you're kind of thinking, well, I'm only a couple items from Go mode. Maybe I should try to save some of these dungeons that are quicker for Go mode. But that's not the way he's playing it. And he's been right so far, so hard to question how his results. Maybe trying to read the breadcrumbs here and say, well, I got the hook shot last. That was the big find, so this is where I go now.
EOD finding a whole lot of nothing in Palace of Darkness and saves out.
That's rough. He is way behind now. Gonna need a lot of sterling play or mistakes to catch up. Hurfy actually going down to the basement, so his plan is to actually finish the tower right now.
Well, it needs to be done, and since Turtle Rock is also a crystal, there's no sense in really saving Tower of Hera for last.
Oh, chat bringing up a good point that I hadn't thought about. Yeah, he did have to leave Thera because it's fire locked. Yes, runners haven't picked up the fire rod yet. I just think about it that way because, of course, we know where it is. So yeah,
Right. And two of them
Fair play.
could go get it, but they have yet to do so.
so Roach choosing to do the left side first here. How do you typically play this in a Seed 0?
I tend to full clear as I go. In Swamp, I just feel like it's the safer play if I'm still looking for things, but I'm not good at this game, and these guys are.
Well, that's one way to put it. Put the emphasis off yourself. Yeah, I guess it depends on what you find early, for sure. I tend to like to go kill Argus first, but I think that might just be what I kind of practiced when I first started running this game, and not a conscious strategy decision. So Jet actually does have his fire rod now. He picked it up and took the little pterodactyl bird trolls for it.
EOD is saving out with his purple chest, gonna deliver that on over to the poor thief. Or to the old man. Dropped it there for just a second. EOD seems to be taking all sorts of things all over the world.
Powder. A roach.
Another nice safety find. Comboed with that bug net. Doubt that Roach will have any problems with deaths for the rest of the game, most likely. Not with that red mail.
I mean, they certainly paid the price for it in Thieves, so...
I'm looking forward to this fairly early Mire play from EOD. See what he finds in here.
Nicely done, really, early. Obviously, without the Fire Sword, harder to do, Fire Rod, hard to do that at the end perfectly, but good start.
Hurfy about to find his perfectly placed hookshot.
Hey, I mean, they named the cave after it, right? It's got to be there.
It's the only place that makes sense. Definitely a few items left behind for Roach in Swamp. Wonder if he'll go back in for them.
I mean, it's so early, I think he almost has to, but we'll see.
EOD finding a heart container is one of the 2 Mire items. EOD is missing several hearts compared to all of the other runners, putting him in quite a dangerous position.
But he does have the red cane, so...
At least he can finish this place in one go.
Well, it depends on how comfortable he is with the dark rooms, but yeah. It's on the
And
table,
on
for sure.
whether he has to light the torches to get the big key. That could also get him quite stuck. Maybe the lantern will be here.
Oh, he doesn't even have a mirror, does he? He's kind of looking around. Is there any chest slots I should get to? Because he's been disrupted from his regular rhythm here.
Oh,
Found
lucky
the
big key find. At least he's not fire locked out of here, but he is fire locked out of a chest or 2.
The hookshot has to make this stash really quickly. Just gets it. But the big key chest unkind on the reward there.
Roach's Swamp Revisit nets him a fairy in a bottle. Not really
He's a
needed
heart.
for him at this point.
And a red rupee. Well, at least it's out of the way now.
Roach is heading up into the castle. While
Another
EOD...
Another play I'm kind of surprised about, because, I mean, you figure if you got bow, you got mirror, you can go at least take care of pod, but... Okay. Let's see. I think we know, but there's nothing important down here.
I don't know if anyone has checked that middle chest yet in the dark, but no one has the lantern.
Right.
So it
Yeah,
would
the
be a
lantern's
secret
turning out to be
break.
the troll item for the seed for sure.
Although we don't really need the lantern at this point. Roach could get go mode if he grabs his fire rod and finds the cane that EOD already has.
Murphy's picking up his fire rod now, so he's got the power.
Hurfy heading into Graveyard Ledge, gonna find some more trash.
EOD taking a death.
Mire is a dangerous place, especially in the dark. And EOD decides to head to greener pastures in search of items.
Yeah, Dark Mire is definitely the hardest one in my opinion.
If there was one dark room that I would flat out refuse to do, it would be Dark Mire.
Pedestal has been checked. Pedestal was couch cash. So, nothing to do there.
Looks like Roach is curious about what that item is.
Hey, it looks like now that Jet's going to do this and he actually has Fire Rod up here, we will learn what the item is. Second item is in Hera.
I really hope it's the lamp. Stalfos blocking one of the fire shots there. And now Jet will head on upstairs and finish out the Tower of Hera. EOD returning to Thieves' Town. EOD is probably going to feel very behind once he finishes up in here.
Anytime you do one of these seeds, it's an hour and you have no crystals, you're starting to panic for sure.
Definitely, although crystal counts are fairly low all around, this has been quite the slow seed.
Yeah, I think even Roach would probably feel like he's behind at this point, especially considering, as we brought up earlier, the deaths in Thieves' Town. So this has not been a comfortable, fun seed for anybody.
EOD finishes off blind once and for all and gets his mirror. Looks like Roach was just making a quick stop at Sahasrala's house on his way over to Pod. Oh, Jet getting knocked off.
Nice land nose fight for Hurfy. Took care of the Tempered and the Fire Rod. Oh, he's got a second crystal now. Jet's about to get his second crystal. And EOD probably kicking himself now that he knows that the mirror was on blind.
Jet taking a second fall, heading back up to show Moldorm what for. And now Roach will head down into Pod.
The mushroom! Moldorm continuing to troll by only giving fetch quests.
Trolling from beyond the grave. We know Roach is most likely not going to find anything useful here, at least not in the first half of the dungeon. We'll see what he finds when he gets to the Bowlock section.
Yeah, EOD got pretty deep in there actually, so if that's where he actually found the red cane, I didn't actually see it, but if this is where the red cane is, I mean, pretty much just need the lantern, or not if you're comfortable with that.
Well, there's a red something for you. Out of Pod, the good old magical boomerang. Some prefer it over the blue, some prefer the blue over the red. I dislike both of them because I tend to accidentally throw them the wrong direction.
Set up on those jellies in that room for a roach there.
Dashing through with no problems.
I mean, this seed initially was very difficult, but the way Roach has played it, I mean, he's got so much going for him right now.
Roach is decked out at this point. He has all the gear he could want to take on Ganon. And
There's the lamp.
The lamp.
Bow blocked lamp. Well, as soon as he finds the red cane, there will be an official go mode. Squid denied.
Gonna get bounced around again? Up.
Slowly kill them via jump dashes. The new strat for this room.
And the arrow sails right over its head. The SNES showing off some of that fantastic multiplanar capabilities there.
Wasn't the prettiest room, but it got it done.
EOD is reading for some flippers on the mountain. Where will he go next? Into the tower? Into the tower. Unfortunately for him, he will not be able to make very much progress.
Well, at least I'll find that bow. And that might lead him to Lantern, so... EOD hadn't played too poorly, it just feels like he's been like one behind the actual item string. One dungeon ahead of it or something.
Now, how long before EOD notices that he doesn't have a fire source?
Feels bad, man.
He just checked, and he's out.
And there's the red cane, so Roach is in go mode at 107. As soon as he picks up his fire rod.
He is in knowledge go mode.
Yes. Oh, look at Rick go. Yeah, Rick won the scenarios here, so... Rick has been killing it as admin in this tournament. You guys should definitely, if you're going to spend a foul on anybody, spend it his way too. Yeah, he's in no mode. Right, we know that Bombos is required for both Meyer and Turtle, and we know where the Fire Rod is, and that the Cape can access it, so... We are in no mode. Even if the inventory doesn't get reflected. So Jet taking a lead on dungeons now. Checking out the map again. And deciding to head into Swamp. Really, this has been a seed where pretty much everything clustered in a few dungeons between Pod, Thieves, and top of Death Mountain, basically.
We'll see if either of these runners decides to skip the left side here in Swamp. It's a gamble, but it would save them some time. We see that Hurfy is not skipping the left side. Which, in their shoes, is probably the smart thing. They're not in go mode. They don't know where these things are. It could be right there, and they could be unknowingly walking right past it. Interesting that our top runners have completed several dungeons differently from Roach, although Roach is quite a bit more decked out in terms of items. Although Jetabb is catching up rather quickly.
Yeah, that was just the way the path went for Roach, not it being able to finish Hera there. But at this point, as we said, he pretty much knows exactly what he needs to go and get, and then he can finish off his remaining dungeons at his leisure.
He does have quite a few, though, so execution could still give EOD a very fair chance to come back and regain the lead. With Roach still having 4 crystals plus Ganon's Tower left to do.
And heading into Eastern, which he hadn't done yet, for reasons I'm not getting yet. Maybe he doesn't. He may not know where Fire Rod is. Did he ever check that? We don't know.
That's true. He may not have checked that, or maybe he forgets that it is in fact a pendant and is not paying attention to the music. It's another possibility. Most likely he just never ran by the bumper cave. I see no reason he would be here if he had been.
That's interesting though, because he actually did check Skull, right? So you would think that you would do that, but that's unfortunate for him, because the answer is fairly obvious, or fairly easy, I should say, not obvious, but fairly
Right.
easy to get to, but he is spending some time here in Eastern.
This is exactly the kind of play that will give EODTex a chance to catch back up. Both Hurfy and Jet finishing up Swamp at nearly the same time. Roy looks ecstatic holding up that crystal.
Roy's just a fun-loving guy, man.
Roach showing us the dark rooms in Eastern for the first time in this race.
Is he actually going to finish Eastern at this point? Looks like it. I mean, he's already here. He's already come into the dungeon, so why not?
Was that the third item, that quiver upgrade? Or is Armos holding out on us?
I believe almost is holding on to something. Yeah. You can see how the dungeon items. So there is something there. Of course, we know that it isn't anything important, but hopefully at least it's something worth the time.
At this
Hurfy
point-
making the ice play. Wow.
Oh, that's an interesting call.
That's one of those follow the crumb scenarios, I guess, where you look at, you see you have both Fire Rod and Bombos, and you're like, oh, wow. What's the game telling me to do here?
Roach will take Armos out in about 2 seconds flat here, courtesy of his silver arrows. And gets some more money.
That is terrific. So Maria is in pod, so once Jet finds both Lamp and Samaria here, he will be in go mode.
Oh no, is Roach gonna go into ice?
Oh dear.
Suddenly... Oh, no. Maybe he never checked Hobo.
Maybe he just felt like going for a swim.
Just take a nice dip in the lake every once in a while. Didn't get enough of that in the swamp.
Maybe he's going to use all that money to pay the hobo to finish the game for him.
Let's see how Hurfy sets up for his Ice Palace bomb jump.
One of the toughest strats in this game, especially for someone new.
Yeah, the diagonals seem to be quite a bit tougher than the ones that are just straight up and down.
Got a second try though, that's pretty good. Pretty good execution there.
Jet making doubly sure that that wall is open by throwing a bomb at it and then smashing into it with his face.
It's important that that wall knows his boss.
That wall definitely knows who's boss now. Roach was going up to the waterfall, finding just some money and another quiver upgrade for his trouble. I believe everyone has checked that cave now.
So Jet about to stumble upon his lantern. I'll be happy to see that here. He can actually complete this dungeon without having to do any dark rooms is a real nice boost for the morale, I'm sure.
It's getting our first bat check from Roach. There's the Ether Medallion, which...
I hate to say this for Roach, but unfortunately, just given how far out of the way that item, the fire rod is for him, you hope he gets to it eventually. At least he's in the right general area of the map now.
He is in the vicinity. Will he go to the Dark World? It looks like he is. And I believe the only place that makes sense for him to go at this point is North Dark World. He'll probably head over there and see it sitting up there on the ledge right now.
And he will be relieved.
Meanwhile, EOD has just now grabbed his fire rod and is fluting away.
Especially since, he came really close to entering ice there.
That
Probably thought about it at least a little bit.
That would turn this into, a casual 100% of the game.
Here we go.
And he sees it. He turned around for a split second, and then came right back.
A good old double take. Oh, that's actually a good item? All right. I should try that. I should try grabbing that one.
Hurfy is still on his cold dive through the Ice Palace. Doesn't look like he's found anything too interesting.
So both Jet and Roach in go mode in pretty much the same minute here.
Jet with a slight crystal lead over Roach, but that's not particularly relevant.
It would be very relevant if they were racing each other. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
I don't believe Hurfy could really find anything too useful down here, except maybe a sword upgrade. I believe we're still missing that fourth sword.
Roach choosing to take down Meyer with his 4th.
Presumably he'll just immediately mirror once he exits and go take care of Landmo to pick up his 5th as well.
That would be the obvious play for sure.
Let's see if Hurfy gets anything off of Cold Stare while he's down here. Besides a shiny new necklace. Just a piece of heart.
Just a little love from Cold Stare.
EOD is once again diving into the dark rooms of Meyer, as he has yet to pick up his lantern in the Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he visited Pod already, but he visited it while it was low lock for him still. So he did
Right.
not get the lantern.
EOD with all of the double dipping. He seems to be making pretty quick work of these dark rooms this time around, though, which is always impressive. Those Meyer dark rooms are, at least in my opinion, by far the most difficult.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's played a lot of the technical aspects of the seed well outside of unfortunately dying in Thieves, but he's made some wrong logic calls as far as the seed has played out. A quick work of Vitreous with the silvers. Pretty impressive. So that will be his 3rd crystal.
One of the most fun and quick fights in the game when you have silver arrows, Vitreous is. Just run in and destroy absolutely everything.
Hurfy deciding to do this tile room again now that he actually has fire this time. Wasn't the only one that got triggered by that either. fooled the commentators too, those dummies.
Oh yeah. Looks like Roach full cleared most of the left side of Meyer looking for that big key that is not there.
Yeah, unfortunately the big key placement of this one is to the point where it pretty much won't even save any time for go mode. Unless they happen to go right first.
EOD making the double play, gonna pick up his 4th crystal in Desert very shortly.
And I believe at that point he will just be trip the pod, hit his lamp again. And I mean, even as it stands now, he's in like the lampless go mode, but once he does
Right.
that, he'll be fully done.
He may not even go for that Cheston pod. I imagine EOD is feeling quite a bit behind at this stage, so he may just rush straight to Helmasaur King. Hurfy making quick work of Moldorm with the double spins, picking up his mushroom. EOD checking the map real quick, making sure that he is in fact going to a crystal dungeon. At this point, everyone is either in go mode or pseudo go mode except for Hurfy, who is heading into Turtle Rock, it seems.
Well, he can't get there. He's probably just seeing if he can open it or not.
Gonna
Which
go ahead
case,
and open that up.
You might as well.
No reason not to. And
Once
then
he does
will-
pod, he'll be in go mode.
And he'll continue looking for that cane.
Yeah, for a seed that started out with such a lack of weaponry, it really all came together after the Thieves down.
Yeah, it seemed like a very difficult first 45 minutes. It's been pretty smooth sailing since then, though. A few tough routing calls have separated EOD from Roach, but luckily no deaths in the past 30 minutes or so.
Oh yeah, you were right. He actually will miss the lantern.
I
if
mean, he doesn't need it. He's just going for it.
If he can do Mire blind, then yeah. I mean, why not, right?
Those downstairs dark rooms aren't too bad. The turtles can be a bit annoying, but you can blindly hammer those around. Or if you're good like EODTex, he'll probably just know where to stand and knock the first 4 up with 1 hit and then the next 2 with the other. EA pointing out, interestingly, yeah, Roach did not mirror straight to desert. I wonder if he forgot.
Maybe he thought Eastern was the crystal instead of desert.
Ooh, that could be it. He might be thinking that he has 5 crystals, when in fact he only has 4. That could come back to bite him in just a minute. If he does Hera now, goes to Turtle Rock, comes back and stands in front of Ganon's tower, only to have nothing happen.
The feel and
Hurfy making sure that that cane isn't on the pedestal. Which, luckily for everyone, except chat, it is not on the pedestal.
yeah, looks like saw Roach's thing. And, yeah, looks like he did skip it. That's a way to go.
So now we have basically a pure execution race between EOD and Roach to see who can finish up their last few crystals and Ganon's tower quicker.
The EOD's out of nowhere now has the crystal lead. And unlike Roach, he won't have to go back, so he can just go straight from Turtle.
Yeah, EOD may pull ahead here.
Hurfy doing Skull Woods. Taking all the gambles this race. And, haven't really paid off for him because it actually turned out to be a pretty clumped seed as far as the progression items. And Jet will be our first one to actually enter Turtle, looks like. Unless EOD takes care of it like right away.
It's a race to see who gets inside. Jet with the advantage of already having hit the hammer pegs. Hurfy picking up the last item in Skull, finding out that there was nothing too important there. There was a nice mail upgrade, but
EOD will route it to do turtle first. All right. So this is the point of the game where the execution level ramps up a lot. So it'll be interesting to see which of our runners know kind of the most consistent / best strats for.
Unfortunate block for Roach there, wasting a good 7 or 8 seconds. EOD taking a little detour over to the left on his Samaria platform before heading over to the torch room. Will we see an extremely free Turtle Rock with a big key and another small key in this room?
Hashtag the dream. Nope.
Well, at least the big key.
Yeah, if Hurfy is looking for that lamp, he is about to be disappointed again. Heading into Mire. Which I believe had a heart container and something else inconsequential.
A heart container, and I'm not sure if we have seen the second item there. I think we did, but I did not catch what it was. It may have been on the left side.
Jet having a problem here in this chomp room, but able to get around it, and most importantly, didn't get hit by those things since they take so much damage.
One of the strongest normal enemies in the game right there. Luckily, they're stuck attached to a block. Pretty close three-way race through Turtle Rock going on at this point. But Roach has the advantage of already having done Hera over EODTex. Jet's in a very similar position to Roach.
Of course, the major difference is that since Roach either forgot or unknowingly thought that Desert was not a crystal, he will have to go back and do that. So that's the big difference between those two right now. EOD actually started the seed and was way behind Roach for a lot of it, but caught up with some good play. Another thing to keep in mind here as we go through Turtle Rock is just how much magic these guys use, because no half magic from the seed. Oh dear! Don't get those eyeballs
At
thrown
least
at you,
not
Roach.
yet.
Don't get those
He's
eyeballs
taken
thrown at you, Roach. Don't do it, man.
Hurfy did find the second item in Mire, which was just 10 arrows. I'm not sure why he's sticking around. Maybe he hasn't found the heart container on the right side yet.
He's probably looking for a big key before he hears out.
Ah, that also makes sense.
EOD comfortably taking care of that dark room, and he knows he doesn't have to go on the Ways Bridge at all, so. A little bit of troll from that little guy there. Alright.
Nice double switch hit there from EOD.
We'll be doing the Trinex fight with Tempered, which is really nice. Sometimes the game is mean to be a mixture of Hammer and Master, but Tempered isn't that bad. Oh, gold, I'm sorry. My bad.
Looks
I must
like
have
all
missed
the
that one.
racers picked up the golden sword in Turtle Rock.
So even better then. Easy
Very
every
quick
time.
work on that first phase of Trinex, knocking out those two heads.
Very nice fight.
Didn't even make it to the first corner of the room there.
And a breakfast burrito for the troubles. So, Jet, little game that I've told you guys like to play about the big key chest and what number it will be. Obviously, you're hoping for a close race here as both EOD and Jet head in. You really want to see a high number here. What's it going to be?
Where do you want to see it, Rivers?
Where do I want to see it? I want to see it in Rando Room. I'm going to call Rando Room.
It's a good place for it to be. I like to see the runners' contingency plans. What will they do in the worst case scenario when it ends up in the tile room?
You know, I rebroadcast a race on Wednesday where the tile, somebody picked the tile room before they finished right side, and the tile room actually had the big key. So
I saw that race. That was a fantastic moment.
you might as well, you know, just the new strat should just be go for a tile room, clearly.
1 in 22 chance,
So here comes
just like
Jet.
everything else.
And here comes Roach's realization that
Well, the
oops.
tracker did eventually mark off desert there. Maybe we missed it.
Did we?
Maybe he did it so quickly that nobody saw him do.
I
Nope.
was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I saw. Yeah.
No,
Oh.
there he goes. He looks at his menu and sees there is a crystal that is not lit up.
And the big key immediately for Jet, so this is going to be a pretty quick finish.
The freest of GTs. So at this point, we're racing a couple of Light World dungeons on our bottom two racers here. EOD trying to finish off Hera while Roach quickly goes to shoot Landmo. Pick up their last crystals.
Okay, trying
Their
to
race
position
could
these
come
guys.
down. Jet getting a bit of lag from the silver arrows there, as they are notorious for.
Yeah, those mimic rooms are both pretty tough to learn.
Looks like EOD will finish up Hera before Roach finishes up Desert. I believe EOD now has a minute or so lead.
Yeah, at least. Maybe even a little bit more.
Probably a bit
Because-
more, yeah. Roach will have to climb all the way back up Death Mountain again.
And he still has to fight the Lambos too, and we don't know how well that'll go yet. Yeah, Roach definitely thought that Eastern was the other crystal rather than Desert.
That is an unfortunate mistake that's put him a little bit behind in this race. But nothing that a death in Ganon's tower can't overcome. Jet is making quick work of the gauntlet.
EOD heading straight left. Oh, interesting. Oh, that could change things.
That was one of the plays that could definitely change things up here, the left versus right gamble, unless EOD is going what people like to coin the stupid route. It will be quite a while before he finds that big key. Oh, he's readying his mirror. Maybe he is going stupid route.
Yep. Well, stupid didn't work out so bad for him this time, although probably think he could have done even faster.
Anything's better than full clearing left when there's nothing there. EOD probably breathing a sigh of relief that he found that. Roach has almost made his way back up to Ganon's tower. Let's see if he goes straight right. That'll give us a pretty good race.
Jet making quick work of these gauntlets and everything up until this room. When, of course, as I started talking, he started getting trolled.
Roach getting blocked by the dead rocks again in the same spot going into Turtle Rock.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, he ran out of time there, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Just barely.
That's a really
Luckily-
annoying room, because you want to go as fast as you can, and you know going fast will make it actually work, but the mechanics of that are not as easy as they would appear.
Right, walking around that narrow one-tile platform is not as easy as it looks. And every fall makes you a bit more nervous that you're giving up time to your opponent. Maybe tilting just a little bit. And without half magic, he's going to have to reach across with that lamp.
Either that or use his potion.
Grab that pot right there and fill back up. Should be
Yep.
okay.
So EOD has about, what, like a 6-room lead at this
Is
point.
Roach looking for a second key? Yeah, he's just grabbing that.
And one of the exciting things about these secondary matches is you're never quite sure how, as opposed to like going in the main tournament, like, you know, everybody's going to do a really good Aga, a really good Ganon, and be done with it. Here, you're not quite so sure. There's still a little bit of uncertainty.
It's a little bit more leeway here.
Jet validates for $5 because this seed didn't have enough money. You will be off to see Aga.
Looks like they will end with quite the nice sum of rupees left over. Roach getting a little bit stuck on those Igors in the top right corner there. Will EOD also skip the magic potion? Nope, looks like he's going to grab it, seeing that he's at less than half.
Aga 2 down for Jet, so only Ganon standing in his way at this point. We know that Hurfy is so far behind that it would be really, really crazy for him to even have a chance at this point, but it'll be interesting to see how Jet plays this, how safe he wants to go, knowing the time and everything, because obviously he doesn't know.
It is getting to around that time when you're leery of people sniping you with that dot done.
Yeah, pretty much any time after 140, you're on alert.
Luckily, Jet has all the equipment he could ever need to take Ganon out. I expect this will be over in very short order.
He still has a blue potion too, right? So yeah, he's in pretty good shape.
I believe he checked his inventory, and I think he had at least one blue potion and a fairy. What a
Oh.
triple!
Nice play.
EOD with a fantastic Aghanim 2 fight, while Roach is having a bit of trouble there in the second Wizrobe room on his way up.
Yeah, if you don't know the strategy, that's a really tough room.
Jet taking a fall.
20 more falls and Hurfy can get back into this.
A few more falls and a power outage. And then laughing a bit at Jet there.
Can't believe it. Joined live in studio by Ganon.
Hurfy's setting back through Mire. He will be able to finish it this time. I think, is this his third dip into Mire?
I think it's only the second. I think. EOD getting to third phase here. We know the silvers are ready, so I mean these guys have all the weaponry to finish this fight very quickly. Matter of execution.
Looks like no torch glitch, but he probably won't need it with these silvers. Nice double.
Oh yeah.
Setting it up.
So it looks like EOD will win this race.
EOD with the magnificent comeback. Early on, everything was going Roach's way.
Yeah, that was a real impressive display there. And his official SRL time is a 1:48.20. So congrats to him.
Good game to EODTex.
And Jet finishing as well on Ganon this time. His official SRL time is a 1:48.50. So got our two winners, Jet and EOD. And Roach probably kicking himself now knowing how close this race was. He'll have to finish Ganon as well with easy strats.
Roach will be finished up in another minute or two. Just that one mistake of thinking he had all the crystals.
Yeah, that's tough.
He may have had it marked incorrectly on his tracker. That's definitely something I want to ask once Roach gets in here. Hurfy's heading on up to get his last crystalline turtle rock. It won't be too much longer before he's on his way to Ganon's tower as well. Ooh, taking a hit from that fire bat.
He was lucky that it didn't push him off, yeah.
Good thing that torch was there.
But Not a big problem at this point, and he's got the torch glitch, so he's in a good spot. Play it slow. He knows he's not going to win, so.
Finishing up with a very nice double.
Nice. Nicely played. And Roach's official SRL time was a 1:51.08, so that was a roughly 2-minute and 40-second difference between our two runners.
And Roach has joined us in the channel. Welcome. Good game, Roach. Excellent show you put on for us today.
Sorry, just realized my mic was muted. But yeah, thank you. But yeah, hey, let's go to Ganon's Tower with only 6 crystals. Best time.
So we were speculating. Did you actually think that Eastern was a crystal, or how did that happen?
I was right there. I still needed items for go mode. I'm like, look, I'm not going to be coming back over this way, so I'm just going to check it now while I'm here.
Okay, so you actually thought that you just forgot to do desert.
Yep, I just forgot to do desert.
Been there, man.
I went there so early. I was just like, I was just fire locked from being able to finish it. So I was like, yeah, I'll just have to do this later when I do Meyer. Forgot to do it.
I welcome that EOD to GG to you.
Congratulations, EOD.
Speaking of being firelocked, where was the lantern?
Lamp was in pod.
It was on
You
right side of
were-
pod.
Yep, you were in go mode basically when you went into the Bowlock section and you just rushed right past it straight to Helmasaur.
Yep.
Man. And so much went wrong with that run. I just kept second guessing myself too much.
For all of you, it did. I mean, pretty much everybody had problems finishing Thieves and Skullwoods early with the lack of weaponry.
Well, after Skull Woods, I plan to head to the Northern Dark World to be able to check Bumper Cave early and Graveyard Cliff Cave, and I really wish I did now, because that's where I got trolled for about 15 minutes looking for the Fire Rod. So...
So did you guys have any, EOD, do you have any general need?
I'm sorry, what? You kind of cut off there.
Do you have any general thoughts about the seed? Want to share?
It was a fun one. If I got that last hit on blind the first time around, it would have been a lot faster, but... I mean,
Everyone
what can
seemed
you
to
do?
struggle early on. There was not much equipment to go around for about the first 40 minutes or so, and there was probably a total of 5 or 6 deaths in Thieves Town between the 4 of you.
I think I had 2 or 3 myself just in the basement trying to get to the Princess Blind.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd done a hammer-only blind before, but I don't know what made me mess up so much this time. I just got off pattern right away or something.
Yeah, we were actually very surprised. It was a pretty surprising comeback by you, EOD, because Roach was ahead for a lot of the race.
I'm actually surprised about that. I felt like I was so far behind after the Thieves Town thing. It was just like I was just struggling the entire time, just like, oh, damn it, I'm so behind.
I was lost a lot just because I didn't kill blind, so I didn't have the mirror.
Oh,
We were speculating, Roach, that you probably thought that you were behind, even though we could see on the stream that you were pretty far ahead for a lot of it.
yeah.
It was one of those races where both racers probably think that they're behind as a result of a couple deaths, and that just leads you to making some different decisions than you normally would.
Trolled myself with the Fire Rod, forgetting to check Bumper Cave earlier, and that just cost me so much time.
Thankfully, before I went in Swamp, I checked my items to make sure Fire Rod was the only thing I needed. So I could just go mode that dungeon.
Yeah, I would have been able to possibly, well, no, I did Swamp before I did Pod, so...
Jet has also joined us in the channel. Congratulations on your win, Jet. Good game.
Thank you. How's everyone?
Really enjoyed watching that race. Everyone put on a pretty even showing.
Glad to hear that. I was a little worried going into. I had some trouble with that block pushing room in Skullwoods. Even though it was pendant, I don't know what I was doing in there.
That was another one of the places that almost everyone seemed to have an issue with. There were multiple deaths in Thieves for most runners,
Okay.
and also that statue Gibdo room in Skullwoods.
Not a
was
sword.
Just trolling people for days.
Man, I'm 2-2, so I mean, at least I'm gonna have at least one more race for a tiebreaker with whoever wins between the other people in our bracket. But I know I have at least one more race ahead of me. But both my losses were so close that one small thing could have made differences. Like my last loss was literally by 2 seconds.
Ouch.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is very close, but each of those very small mistakes are things that you'll definitely never forget.
Yep. Like here, I mean, I'm pretty sure EODTex would have probably took it at the end, even from the minor mistake. If I just did desert earlier, so I didn't have to reclimb the mountain, that would have just closed that gap even that much more.
I was gonna do desert really early because we got book early, but some things threw me off, and I did it like a little later than I wanted to. But I don't even remember what was in there.
Boots on the
Boots.
ledge.
Boots was on.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, that was interesting. Interesting seed. A lot all over the place. You go back and forth. Corner of the map was.
There was a lot of mobility very early on. You got early boots, early flute, but not much in the way of weaponry.
Yes.
Everyone except for Roach took quite a while to find that first sword. And Roach actually had Master Sword before anyone else had Fighter Sword.
I was actually glad I had the Master Sword before I finally went up to Death Mountain, so I could have checked the Ether Tablet, which gave me the flippers. So I was able to do that all of Death Mountain at one time, except for Turtle Rock.
And luckily finding the hook shot in its most prime location up there.
Yep.
Best location ever.
Also, vanilla Titansmiths.
Vanilla both gloves.
True.
Nice. Didn't even notice.
Well, I had 3 deaths that run. That's terrible. And overall, I mean, it's a 150, pretty much around where I average, so I can't really say that I played poorly. It's about what I usually do.
And I mean, doing about your average in a tournament setting where nerves are high and you're more likely to get nervous, I mean, that's about all you can ask of yourself.
Yeah. As I said, as long as it's sub 2 hours in a tournament, even unless it's like pedestal required garbage or double dipping T-Rock, and it's like, as long as it's sub 2 hours, I can't really argue right now. For my skill level, I know where I'm at. So is anyone still racing for this?
Yep, they still got Hurfy going. He's doing the gauntlet right now. Going for pretty much everyone was pod except for Roach, right?
I'm sorry.
Right, yes, I believe that was the case. Go mode for almost everyone was the Kanan pod, except for Roach, who needed to find that fire rod.
He got it pretty early. He did it.
I mean, technically mine was the fire rod,
yeah.
but I already knew where that was, so.
Right.
Come on, Hurfy. No deaths. Two and a half hearts headed to the land mode. But he's got that powder to bail him out. Ooh!
Good call grabbing the ferry. was a nice spin hitting on both of those.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody clip once getting all three of them. Somebody in my group. Pretty rare.
You have to delay a little more than just grabbing the fairy to get that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do another run on this seed after I forget it. Hopefully practice those bosses that I died to a little more. Or, well, I guess I only died to blind, but I also died after the dark room in Mire. Like, right after. that was just... I don't know.
Yeah, it was really impressive to see you do Dark Mire. I wasn't really expecting to see it in the second.
I did it twice, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mire and the Mason Pod are the only two that I'm just keep myself away from. I was like, nope.
The only
everyone
dark
else-
room I will not do is Aghanim's Tower.
Oh, I didn't even think about that one.
Not
Yeah,
only is it
convenient.
like, you know, you don't want to do Aghanim if it's not required, and if you don't have Lamp yet, it's not really required yet. But I just, that one room with the walkways over the pit, I cannot navigate that.
Yeah, I had a seed a while ago, I think, where we had open mode closed, where I couldn't get a bomb before leaving escape, and the lantern was actually in the three chests in the back of escape. So I tried to do Aga blind, and that did not go well.
Ugh, sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, I did a seed last night. Fighter Sword Trinex. My first time having to use hammer strats on Trinex, it did not go well. I had like only 8 hearts, green mail. It was terrible.
Sounds
I'm
great.
glad that was not the erase seed for today.
I would have been practiced up for it already from last night.
Yeah, I guess the one thing about Randomizer, it rewards people with deep knowledge. Kind of all the different ways this game control you.
And
I had
luckily,
one-
Randomizer is great at teaching you all of those different things because you never know what it's going to throw at you.
I had a seed where I completed 3 or 4 dungeons before I got my first sword. That was a fun one.
Murphy finishing up Aga 2 now.
Man, all
He's
in all,
almost to the finish line.
Aga 2 is definitely something I need to practice. I waste so much time in that fight.
I got quite a few rounds with only 1 hit, but the final round I got 3 hits. So I can do it, I'm just not consistent.
Oh yeah, if his pattern's great, sure, no problem for a double.
True.
That was a pretty impressive triple, though.
Yeah, that was a really awkward angle for that triple to land
I
like that.
thought that was a perfect angle for a triple. That's why I tried it.
It looked really weird to me, but that just shows why you're much better at this game than I am.
Here comes Hurfy. Pyramid. Must have been nice, guys, to see Ganon fight with gold sword, silvers, pretty much everything you would need.
Yeah, Master Sword Silvers. As long as I have both those together, I'm good. Otherwise, just Tempered Sword.
Until you fall.
Don't want to jinx myself, but I have not fallen to Ganon in quite a long time. Since I came back to playing the game.
Have to be during this race.
Yeah, Jet did have that one fall.
I knew it as soon as I pressed pause to the menu. I knew I was gonna fall.
But I love how I haven't played this game at all since the spring tournament. Like the day before the tournament starts, like the last day of sign-ups, I'm like, oh, sure, I'm going to join this. Like, haven't done any games, and like haven't played at all in like 4 months.
It's like
Wrong
riding a
with
bike. So you're still doing pretty well.
It took a lot of practice that first week. So my only goal is to get past this group stage, so I just gotta win that tiebreaker. After that, cool, I don't care what happens.
If you get torch glitch, so
Oh no,
matter of falling off. Yeah, so
a little too close to Ganon there.
that'll delay the end just a little bit.
Hopefully he'll run face first into that tree real quick, get himself a fairy.
I'm still not caught up in everything they changed previously that they reverted. Like, the bonk items don't seem to be randomized anymore.
Yeah, like the waterfall cave, that was a new thing for me. I was like, second seed I played, I ended up forfeiting because I had no idea what to do. Then people tell me in the spoilers, and I'm like, when did they add this? So I had no idea.
Yeah, I had a little trouble. I was trying to fake flipper into that and realized I didn't have Moon Pearl, and then I get it from Zora there. And then I ended up coming back later, but it didn't pan out.
Yeah, that was a really annoying location for the world, considering most runners try to save those chests until they actually have them.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, oh, thank God I came here. So usually I don't go there unless I can get the waterfall cave.
Definitely would have stopped me if I was there. That would have been the last thing I found for sure.
Seed just kept throwing money at us so much that I was like, it's telling us to go there, let's just go there.
Yeah, you guys pretty much all finished for at least the group.
It felt like for the first 30-40 minutes or so, in lieu of finding any useful combat items, you just found loads of money everywhere.
Buy bombs.
Did twice.
Somebody actually bought a heart.
A heart.
Yes.
How does that work?
Buy a heart from the vendor for I think 10. Like we just had so much money in this scene that they were just like, yeah, sure, why not? I'm here.
Oh, I see what you mean. I think about a heart container. Like, I don't think that's a thing.
Oh yeah, I know. Just
The heart piece, yeah.
regular old heart. There we go. Hurfy finally finishing Ganon. The swag bow dash. The official SRL time is 08:39. So GG Hurfy, I know, wasn't close of a race as he probably would have hoped. At least he was able to finish up strong.
Thanks for the restream, guys, and thanks for commentating and tracking that.
Yes, thank you. It was definitely nice to have at least one of my races be able to be restreamed.
Yeah, big ups to our trackers, Jeremy and Hans. Hurfy, welcome. GG.
Hello. Thank you.
Good game, Hurfy.
Am I the last one who finished?
Yep.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, the seed was not kind in the beginning.
Yeah, I also made some really stupid decisions and didn't play very well, so I'm not surprised I lost. I'm a little sad that I came in last, but whatever.
There were a couple of unfortunate routing choices where you ended up being like in pod where you couldn't quite get everything due to bow lock and also tower being fire locked.
Yeah, it was one of the seeds that really rewarded you going to particular dungeons because it clumped so much together.
Hey, at least you didn't go to Ganon Tower with 6 crystals.
Yeah, it's I don't know. it just didn't go very well for me. I made some really stupid routing decisions. I full cleared Ice Palace for some reason, and it had nothing, and it was a pendant. And I think I miscounted items in Skull Woods too.
Yeah, we were wondering about the Ice Palace, especially.
Yeah, I don't know. I went into Ice Palace, and then halfway through I realized, oh, I probably should have gone to Tower of Hera instead. Which, you know, it happens, but...
Full clearing ice can be quite a time sink, but at the time it wasn't a bad call because you didn't know that what you needed could have been.
Yeah, I mean, it's V26. Any dungeon could be that dungeon. In this case, did not pan out for you at all.
Yeah, it turns out today they all weren't really... all the pendant dungeons I cleared, except for, I think, Eastern Palace, had, like, nothing at all. I think I got a mail upgrade out of Skull Woods and a piece of hearts.
Yeah. Don't worry,
Right.
Eastern Palace had nothing as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Zora had Moon Pearl, right?
Yep.
Right. Pendant's not paying out too much today.
Anyone find half magic?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Half magic was nowhere to be seen.
Curious.
Probably D-Ring Ganon's Tower is my guess. I cleared everything in the overworld, so...
Yeah, we didn't see too much of Ganon's Tower today.
No, it's hard to miss. We actually were wondering if EOD would give you kind of a comeback lane by going left, but he actually did the route.
Yeah.
Back to right side.
Trying to do that more often because I don't know what seems best for me.
It's two chests right there, free to pick. Takes a couple seconds.
Yeah.
So, me failing to check one location I meant to check earlier just cost me a ton of time searching for it.
Alright, I'm off, guys. Thanks again. See you next race.
All right, thank you, Jim.
Yeah, GG, Jed. Much luck on the rest of your tournament.
Thanks.
Hey,
Thanks
EOD
for joining
Tech
us,
here
guys.
with a big 4-0.
I guess we're pretty much at the end of the stream. Thanks everybody for watching. Obviously, there is a huge amount of matches left today. Tomorrow, always. The randomizer tournament never end. There's games going on right now. Speed Gaming 2. On this channel, there will be a race at 9 o'clock. Secondary tournament between Aaron Dobb and the Panda. So stay tuned, check that out too as well. And thank you very much for watching.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you very
guys for commentating. I hope it was at least entertaining.
It was a great race to watch. Thank you very much, Hurfy, for putting on such a good show.